What is up, frogs, friends, and family? Welcome back to another episode of Marketflow, powered by Thor, hosted by me, Mode. You see my little BTC King there pulling on the green candle, and that's what we're hoping we get. But it's been a lot of red. Are you down or are you selling? I mean, you're selling now in order to get better entries later because we got red, right? If you said yes, you're caught in the market maker's game, and that's what we're here to learn. We're here to learn the game so we can play the market flow, take advantage of these things. How do we know? Let's go to Bitcoin. Where did we leave off with Bitcoin, right? We look at this range that we've literally just tapped right now. How long have we talked about 64 for? Right? We talked about 64 for since the 20th of May. So it's now been nearly a full month that we've had entry into the Thor short zone multiple times to get entry in the zone, even add a couple extra percent to it before we filled out this short, giving you anywhere from 7 to 10% on TP1 on this short. We knew this level was here. We knew this level could be opportunity. Where are we going now? Great. We knew this level. What's next? Well, if we look at Thor, we actually still have a short up here at 74, right at and just above all-time highs, right? Basically, what Thor is saying is if we pump up to test all-time highs, look for us to take a retrace and retest the EMAs and some of these other levels, support. We need to find support on these before we're going to continue up. So if we do pump up, look for a retrace, find support. This doesn't mean that this is the top again, right? Doesn't mean that from here we're going back down. Could we? Yes, we absolutely could. But if we pump up, look, we're going to at least test this before we either continue to drop down through, or do we look for now the higher high? We make the high, get the higher low, look for the higher high. Now, looking on the bearish side of what we have and what Thor has called. We have a couple calls that are down here pretty far, like really far. We have a call down here at 42. We have a call at 32. And we have a call down here all the way down at 16K. Do I think this is probable? No, but it is absolutely possible and something we need to be aware of. We've called these DCA zones, these gold boxes are the DCA zones established from my own TA. You can see we tapped the 62 and it gave us good entry, good DCA multiple times. Only once did we tap this 56 zone. Only once did we tap 56K and in this DCA zone. So I don't understand why my Twitter timeline is so bearish when Bitcoin is sitting at 12% from all-time highs, and we're now making higher lows. I don't understand why people are so bearish at this point. Now, that being said, I'm not fully bullish. Midterm, short term to midterm, maybe even a little more bearish. Are we going to get this 61, maybe 56 even? And if we lose that, we could potentially fill this fair value gap and get a great entry for the bull run here at 52, right? These are DCA zones. In no way am I bearish. Midterm to long term, super bullish. This is simply ranging, and in my opinion, it's a range of both capitulation as well as accumulation. Anyone that's getting bored in this times and thought, hey man, I thought we were going up to 100K, what's happening? They're capitulating over time. You're going to have smart money, big money accumulating over time. So this is kind of a weird time for Bitcoin. Also, we're just seeing the rest of the market, the alts, bleed out so much more than Bitcoin in these dumps. So Bitcoin, again, I've been saying this for a while. I don't see it quite as the barometric pressure gauge that I used to. Um, but we know our bullish, we know our bearish zones. Okay, here on Solana, okay, we had a long call here at 143 entry. You see, we did find support there for a minute. We pumped up, and instead of being able to break up above the short-term EMA, above the 50-day, we actually found resistance, broke down through. This long call is now invalidated. It's been removed. But before I delete it from the chart, I want to note something significant. A new very narrow entry for a short. I mean, it's 155.09 to 155.22, I believe. Very, very narrow entry for this short call. But what's significant about it is for that long call that's now been invalidated, it's exactly, the entry is right on the take profit. And the take profit of this short is right on the entry of that previous long call. So what Thor was saying before was if we find support here, look for us to test this zone for resistance before we either break down further or continue up further. We did meet resistance and have broken down further. This is why we use risk management. But now we have that call basically saying exactly this. If we break up to here, pump up to here, look for us to retest this lower level before we decide if we're going to continue up or break further down, right? So that is also right on the bottom of the zone that we knew was significant all the way from here, right? We blew through it, fell through it, resistance, blew through it, little bit of support, and then fell through it. This is the zone that we need to get on top of and find support on this 160 to go full bull and get things really back and moving. Now, we did tap all the way down in here. This gold zone, you remember I established last week, I said, if we were to come and fill this area, it could be one of the best entries that we'll get for the rest of the bull run. We tapped it about perfectly. We knew that was a zone because that was in the prior, let's say, run up in the bull when we went from $20 up to $120. That was our peak. We didn't really test it. We danced on it for support. We left. We needed to test it again. We've now got 1, 2, 3 pins to the low. This is looking pretty bullish to me. Area to consider DCAing. If we lose that area, if we lose it, I think we could come all the way back down to this fair value gap that we never really tested, right? We never really tested this fair value gap. We came in, we filled it once, we left the zone. So if you can buy on top of and in the bottom of the fair value gap, those are amazing entries. If we lose what we've got here, right? Not financial advice. Do your own research, but we have a zone down here at 67 entry, down below the 60%. That's a juicy one if we get down there. However, Thor still has posted several calls for the bullish scenario, right? Bullish scenario. We can erase this pattern because we see that's about gone now. Bullish scenario would be we come up, we find support, we get the higher low, we get the higher high, find the higher low, retesting support, pump up, see, into the short, come down, fill the short, testing support. See how it's constantly higher highs and higher lows? That's always bullish, higher highs, higher lows. And you can see how we could fill out bullish momentum in short calls. Remember, we got to pump up in order to hit a short. So if we do pump, and again, if we break this 189, this local last high, this short call is invalidated. This call down here at 67 is invalidated. I should make that note too on Bitcoin. If we pump up and we break this local top, if we break 72,000, the call at 42, the call at 32, and the call at 16K are all invalidated at that point. So we know our zones. We knew this was a potential. This is nothing scary for us. I don't understand why so many people are panicking when Bitcoin is literally, right now sitting at 12%, 12% from all-time highs. If you need to zoom out, go on the weekly, zoom out, really take a look at where we're at in this, right? Where are we in this cycle? If we look at our exit target for BTC, we look at our long-term chart, again, we're getting high on the RSI on the weekly. We're post-halving. We're retesting the zone for all-time high. Look what has happened previously when we're testing all-time highs. We have the halving and the RSI is getting high on the weekly. Bull run. We're testing the all-time highs. We've had the halving, RSI high on the weekly. Bull run. I don't know why people think this time will be much different. Short term, medium term, yes, we could see some more ranging. We could see even some more downside, a little more pain. Long term, midterm, long term, ultra bullish. Bitcoin's going to see its new all-time highs post-halving, like always. Jumping into what I think is one of the best opportunities that we could have got. We've talked about this for quite a while now. Jupiter. Jupiter is the powerhouse behind Solana, behind all the shit coins, meme coins, everything else you see and hear about pumping all over the timeline and everywhere else. Jupiter powers it all. Now, we had this fair value gap. We said we're going to buy on top of it at 90 cents given opportunity. We had opportunity. We're going to buy in the bottom given opportunity at 82. And if we hit the top and bottom again, another circle here. If we hit the bottom, DCA there. But we got our opportunity at 71 cents. We're sitting at approximately 74 right now. But we were granted that opportunity at 71 cents that we have been talking about for several months at this point. For several months, ever since the 11th of March, let's just say the first week of March, we have been saying our ultimate opportunity again would be at 71 cents, even when we were up here at over $1.70. We were up at $1.85. Now what are you doing? What are you doing now that you have the opportunity at 71 cents when we were at $1.85? Are you saying it's over and you're selling? Or are you buying more for that ride up to retest all-time highs and entering the bull market with Solana leading the way for layer ones at this point in adoption, in use? The DEX volume on Solana has been outdoing the DEX volume on Ethereum. Shit's about to get wild. Not financial advice. Do your own research. If we look at just about everything over the monthly, except for a few meme coins, just about everything is in the red. Over the past week, everything is in the red. On the day, some things are starting to come back green, but everything's red. Red equals opportunity. You gotta buy the massive lows in order to make money when we go into the highs. Don't get shaken out of your Bitcoin. Follow Thor. If you're having trouble with this whole trading thing, but you want exposure to crypto, you want to make money and be part of this ecosystem, log into AutoThor. AutoThor is our automated protocol that is trading these Thor calls on Solana for you, taking those longs, taking those shorts, all those opportunities, whether they play out in a matter of hours or they play out in a matter of months, you can take advantage of it. We currently have just under 1.5 million total volume locked in our protocol. The average user P&L experience has been just over 40%. Let's look down here at the chart. If you weren't selling your Solana at 160, 170, 180, 180, and buying Solana back at 150, 140, and buying a big bag of Solana back here at 185, man, maybe you want to look at AutoThor. If you don't know when you should stake your USDC and you don't know when you should stake your Solana to earn more rewards, look into AutoThor. Let it do it all for you. You can lock it up in a 90, 180, or a 365-day contract, and you only pay taxes on your gains. There's no easier way to get exposure to crypto. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Frogs fuck. Thor Prince. We'll see you next week. Make sure you keep up with frogs so when we hit these zones, they're not surprises. We know how to play the game with the market makers. I'll leave you with this. If you don't understand it, please contemplate it. Finite thinking plays within the rules. Infinite thinking plays with the rules. Frogs fuck, Thor Prince. See y'all next week.